Writing in China dates back to the hieroglyphs that were used in the Shang dynasty of 1750 BC. Chinese literature is a vast subject that spans thousands of years. China possesses one of the world's major literary traditions. Its texts have been preserved for over 3,000 years.
The Shang Dynasty. The Shang Dynasty is the earliest ruling dynasty of China to be established in recorded history. The earliest written record in Chinese history dates back to the Shang Dynasty, which, according to the legend, began when a tribal chief named Tang defeated the Xia dynasty. King Tang of Shang. Cheng Tang, personally named Zilu, recorded on oracle bone as Da Yi, was the first king of the Shang dynasty in Chinese history. He overthrew Ji, the last ruler of the Xia dynasty. She was the leader of his tribe, or group of people, for more than 17 years. Zhou Dynasty, 1046 BC. The Zhou, a subject people living in the western part of the kingdom, overthrew the Shang dynasty at the Battle of Moye. The Zhou established authority by forging alliance with regional nobles and founded their new dynasty with its capital of Penghao, near present-day Xi'an in western China. Qin Dynasty. The Qin Dynasty established the first emperor in China, starting with the epoch in 230 BC, during which the Qin leaders engulfed 6 Zhou dynasties peak. The empire existed only briefly from 221 to 206 BC.
The Han Dynasty was the second imperial dynasty of China. It followed by Qin Dynasty, which had unified the warring state of China by conquest. It was founded by Liu Bang, known posthumously as Emperor of Gaozu of Han. They put an end to the civil war and reunified China, ushering in a golden age of peace and prosperity during progress and cultural development took place. The Western Han period continued a lot of Qin's policies but modified them with Confucian ideals. The history of Shu Dynasty. The Shu Dynasty ruled over much of China after uniting the 4 kingdoms of the northern and southern dynasties. It's most famous for unifying China under one rule. Of the period of this reign, it was short, intense dynasty with great conquests and achievements that is considered a second to Tang Dynasty as a great Chinese era. The history of Tang Dynasty. The Tang Dynasty was founded by Li Yuan after suppressing the remnants of Shu Dynasty. People and those proclaimed himself as the ruling emperor and reigned from 614 until 618. Tang Dynasty. To succeed the short-lived Shu Dynasty, developed a successful form of government and administration of the Shu model, and it stimulated a successful diplomatic relationship, economic expansion, and a cultural influence of cosmopolitan style. Tang China emerged as one of the greatest empires in the medieval world, known as the Golden Age.
Song Dynasty. The Song Dynasty was the first in world history to issue banknotes or true paper money and the first Chinese government to establish a permanent standing navy. This dynasty saw the first recorded chemical formula of gunpowder, the invention of gunpowder weapons such as fire arrows, bombs, and fire lance. Starting in 960 and ending in 1279, the Song Dynasty consisted of the Northern Song and the Southern Song, with a prosperous economy and region culture. This period was considered as another period of golden age after the glorious Tang Dynasty. Yuan Dynasty or Mongol Dynasty. The Yuan Dynasty was established at 1206 to 1368. This dynasty is established in China by Mongol nomads. Genghis Khan occupied northern China in 1215. but not until 1279 did Kublai Khan take control of southern China. The Mongols established their capital at Beijing, then called Dadu. The Yuan dynasty was amazing for its size. Humble beginnings, paper money, largest armadas, technology, monumental overspending, and huge natural disasters. The Ming Dynasty. Officially, the Great Ming was the ruling dynasty of China from 1368 to 1644, following the collapse of the Mongol-led Yuan dynasty. The Ming Dynasty was the last imperial dynasty of China ruled by Han Chinese. The Ming Dynasty is known for its trade expansion to the outside world that established cultural ties with the West. The Ming Dynasty is also remembered for its drama, literature, and world-renowned porcelain. Qing Dynasty. The Qing Dynasty was established in 1636 by the Manchus to designate their regime in Manchuria, in what is now northeastern China. It became the imperial dynasty of all China in 1644 after the reigning Ming Dynasty called upon the Manchus for military assistance. The Qing Dynasty was the final imperial dynasty in China, lasting from 1644 to 1912. It was an era noted for its initial prosperity and tumultuous final years, and for being only the second time that China was not ruled by the Han people.
The Shang people who lived over 300,000 years ago, each character featured on the bone. Shang writing is known as oracle bone script. Other ancient scripts such as Egypt hieroglyphic fell out of use, but oracle bone script developed into modern character which Chinese people still use today.
Qin characteristics. During the Qin dynasty, literary disaster and legalism occurred. Upon the order of Qin Emperor, many religious temples, books, and literature were destroyed all over the empire. Meanwhile, in this era, started the standardization of written classical language that led to the development of the modern Chinese language. Legalism texts are philosophy writings about a strong emperor government with strict law that were needed for social order.
Emperor Wen of Sui Dynasty carried out several reforms, which among other things aim at reducing economic inequality and improving agricultural productivity. The middle period of Sui Dynasty is considered a golden age of prosperity with vast agricultural surplus which supported rapid growth of population to historical peak. During the Sui Dynasty, block printing was invented in which text was carved on a wooden board. The board was then covered in ink and then it was printed page by page onto the sheets of paper. This technology produced the first ever book known with a verifiable printing date in 668 during the Tang era.
Song literature. Today, Xu Shi is recognized as one of the 8 great prose masters of the Tang and Song, and one of the 4 masters of calligraphy. His poems, including At Red Cliff, Cherishing the Past, and Prelude to the Water Melody, have become embedded in Chinese culture. It was Xu Shi who first began to explore concepts of artistic practice as the outward expression of the artist's interior experience.
Lao Tzu. She is considered the father of Chinese Taoism. Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching itself is a collection of sayings describing the principal Taoist teaching. The most important concept developed in Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching is Tao. Tao literally means road or way. Man should not strive for wealth or fame, and violence is to be avoided.